Welcome to the Closet Calvinist podcast. Some Christians have an inner Calvinist in them and don't even realize it. We will try to bring out the inner Calvinist that may be in you out of the closet. Here is your host, Mike G.
Welcome back to the Closet Calvinist podcast. This is bonus episode number 8. And in this episode, we're addressing something the modern church desperately needs, but often neglects. And that is apologetics. Not as an academic hobby, not as a debate club, but as a biblical obligation. We see this in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. Let's start with this text. It says, "But in your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you." Now listen to how this is explained in Van Til's Apologetic. It says, according to 1 Peter 3:15, the obligation to defend the Christian faith rests upon all believers, all the sheep of Christ's flock. It is all the more an obligation resting upon those charged with defending the flock. That's Acts chapter 20, verse 28 through 30. And setting before an example as shepherds. Now that's not optional language. That's obligation language. Notice what Peter says. Always being prepared. Not pastors only, not theologians only, but all believers. This means every Christian should be able to explain the gospel, and every Christian should be able to defend the truth, and every Christian should be grounded in Scripture. And yet, that's not what we see today. Now let's be honest. Apologetics is often replaced with emotionalism, entertainment, and surface-level teaching. Instead of equipping believers to defend the faith, many churches are producing people who can't explain the gospel clearly, can't answer basic objections, can't defend what they claim to believe. But Scripture commands the opposite. In Jude 3, it says, "Contend for the faith that was once for all delivered to the saints." In 2 Timothy 2, verse 15, it says, "Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, rightly handling the word of truth." Van Til points this out, and Scripture confirms it. Acts chapter 20, verses 28 through 30 that we mentioned a little bit ago. It says, "Pay careful attention to yourselves and to all the flock. I know that after my departure, fierce wolves will come in among you." Shepherds are not just teachers. They are defenders of the flock. Titus 1:9 says, "He must hold firm to the trustworthy word, so that he may be able to give instruction in sound doctrine and also to rebuke those who contradict it." That means defending truth and refuting error and protecting the sheep. But if pastors neglect apologetics, the wolves don't. The Reformers didn't shy away from defending the truth. Luther said, "If I profess with the loudest voice every portion of the truth of God except precisely that little point which the world and the devil are at that moment attacking, I am not confessing Christ." Calvin wrote, "A dog barks when his master is attacked. I would be a coward if I saw that God's truth is attacked and yet would remain silent." Now that's apologetics. That's not arrogance. That's not pride. That is faithfulness. R.C. Sproul said every Christian is called to give a reason for the hope within him. Apologetics is not optional. Why does this matter so much? Because today we face false teachers, cultural opposition, biblical illiteracy, and without apologetics, truth gets blurred, error gets unchallenged, believers get confused. Colossians 4, verses 5 and 6 says, "Walk in wisdom toward outsiders. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt." Now let's correct the misconception. Apologetics is not about winning arguments, showing off knowledge. It's about loving God by defending his truth and loving people by giving them the truth. 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5 says, "We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God." So here's the question. Are you prepared? Because Scripture doesn't say, be ready if you feel like it. It says, always be prepared. Thank you so much for listening to the Closet Calvinist Podcast bonus episode number 8. Now, if this episode has helped you, please share it, study Scripture, and start equipping yourself, because defending the faith is not optional. May God richly bless your life. Grace and peace to you all.
Thank you for listening to the Closet Calvinist podcast. If you have any questions, then please contact us at our email, mikeg@theclosetcalvinist.com, or visit our website at www.theclosetcalvinist.com.